Find your safe space.
There ain't nothing safe about this.
All righty. Good evening, everybody. We are here again with, of course, Rural 2IC, half ready, and our special guest this way. This is all backwards. Chance Paladin. I got to turn my phone down. It is good to see everybody this evening. Chance, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Hello, my name is Chance Paladin. I hope everyone's having a fantastic night, and we're gonna be great. And hopefully, our audio is not freaking terrible. So say something in the chat if our audio is terrible. And I write books sometimes, and I have a cat, and I'm working on an orchard, and it is a major bitch. The end.
Well said. Sounds about right. Yes, Chances wrote several books. I haven't got all the way through this one. I've been reading it at work in my spare time, but I'm getting there. And Rural has the updated version.
I do.
So if somebody wants to drop the link, they're on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody wants to drop the link to that. That'd be great. J-Man, good to see you. Katrinka, CUCV, good to see you. So, what is everybody's questions for Mr. Paladin?
Bump, 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 dump, dump, dump.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how the chat goes because you guys are not privy to the behind the scenes, and we had really deep discussions behind the scenes. So,
yes,
I'm
very deep
questions.
So I went and got my rubber boots and put them on.
Yes, and I have my tinfoil hat on just to keep myself sane.
Look, I can tell y'all my epiphany on the live. It's not
fine. Let's hear your damn shower epiphany.
Yeah, it is not. It is not dirty, or it just hit me all of a sudden. I had to stop.
I swear, if it's about aliens, I'm hanging up.
No aliens. I promise. So I was thinking, why do we put up? The aliens had me thinking about it. Why do we put up with being called crazy and the eye roll shit when you say something around someone who's not a prepper? When you start talking prep, people roll their eyes. Well, we're all positive people. Most of us are positive people, and even when we're doom scrolling, even when we're preparing for the end of life as we know it, we're doing it in a benevolent way to save what we can of what we have, right? So, and I thought, wow, that's a really deep thought, Mark. You really hit on something there. And then I thought, well, why do really the other guys?
Mark, you really hit the nail.
Why do the pissed off guys do their thing in prepping, and why do they do so? What's their motivation, right? So I had another epiphany. I said, they do it because they're making money off keeping you terrified, and you're buying the shit they're trying to sell, right?
Yes.
So again, nothing. It was nothing. I mean, I didn't have no epiphany about how we could save everybody. I just had epiphany on why I do what I do, right? Because look, what we do and what all you people in the chat do, or what you are planning on doing, is not easy. It's not cheap. You're not doing it because, I mean, maybe some of us are doing it because it's a really great hobby and we're really enjoying it. Yes, but you're doing it in a benevolent way to keep your family alive, to keep yourself alive. So you go about your work with a whistle and a smile, and it brings out the good in us. I seen it during Helene. Guys like me were out doing for people who couldn't do for themselves, right? We were trying to make our community a better place, and that's what we do.
Well, I think it's a two-part. I think you've got like a two-part question there. So let's try to unpack this. And I think unpacking the second part first is a good idea. I think before the internet, you didn't have a lot of people telling you were crazy, telling you were crazy. You'd have the one person that's like, oh, that's the crazy asshole that buys 2 cans of food instead of 1 can of food like the rest of us. I'll say now though, locally there is a lot less of that, because if you look at the faces of the other people in the grocery store, they all look like death already, and it's not even that bad yet because they look at the prices and I think they lose their appetite. But you have the internet where everybody says that everything everybody's doing is wrong all the time, no matter what. And I think most, if not all of us, have tuned that out so long ago that people stop even sharing most of it, because you're going to get corrected no matter what you do. I remember people would be showing like CQB videos, and in fact this is like in my book I talk about this, like, oh, you're stacking up on those doors wrong, oh, you're clearing the room wrong, and it's like, shut the where's your video? Oh, that's right, you don't have one, because as soon as you put up a video, everyone's going to tell you, well, that's not how we stacked up in our SWAT team. It's like, shut up. And then like, oh, I was in Vietnam, that's not how we stacked. Shut up. And so I think most people get over that, and that's a non-issue. The first part though, that's the real cluster, because I've had to deal with that a lot. It's like I sell a prepping book, right? That inherently is like the whole damn problem. I'm not trying to sell a battery. I'm not trying to sell the newest stupid flashlight, even though everyone has 10 billion flashlights now. But golly, we're going to sell the new one for some reason. Even though there's been no battery technology changes, and anyway, whatever. The book is hard, right? Because it's like, well, it's the end of the world, but buy my book. And so I've had to struggle with that a lot. And I think part of that, a lot of preppers say, it's like, there's still time, there's still time, there's still time. That's part of it. But that's also why part of my book is like, if you have a bunker, go throw my book in the bunker. Chances are you're not going to make it, but maybe the next person will find it. Like, or in that stuff. But like batteries, it's like batteries are expandable, so you could tell people like there's still time. Buy this battery, it's expandable, and I think that's really smart. But you're right. So much of the prepper stuff is just garbage. Don't even get me started on gold. I will lose my shit. And there's, I mean, leave a comment in the chat of all the stupid shit that YouTubers try to sell you, but while telling use a VPN, it's going to be the end of the world. Buy a VPN and use your delete me. There's a billion of them, and it's like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop with your dumb shit.
I agree,
please. Anyway,
and Merle talks about that. You can't eat gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
So CUCB Farmer has a question, and
oh
they
boy,
say for someone who's just starting to prep, what would the first thing they should do?
Okay, so join a group or start a group to try to find all the things that you're not going to F up. So starting prepping right now is insanely hard. All the overlander jackasses during the Rona and all the van life assholes like tripled the price of everything with their stimmy checks. It is almost freaking impossible from a gear standpoint to get started. You've got to find, there's a couple of milcert. We've talked about this before, just kind of on the sidelines. There's a couple of milcert places online. There's a couple of eBayers. If you can't, usually the local places are super overpriced. You have to get a feeling for what the prices are supposed to be, and for what the quality is supposed to be. There's 3 qualities for the price. You have to start to know your shit, and then you can get backpacks, web gear, pouches for like $50. You try to buy that, some of these places will $250, $300. That's only $40 worth of gear. That's how you start gear wise. Or you go to garage sales, or you go to Salvation Army or Goodwill. But ask somebody, learn what the current prices are supposed to be before you go out and buy anything. Ask us, leave it down in the comments. Like, ask us what the prices are supposed to be, because milsurp on eBay is not always the actual like real price. They could have just sold a giant batch and there isn't anything out there right now. You can wait a week. Literally, you could get whole setups for like $40. So that's the gear wise. The training wise, you got to find a buddy.
Yeah.
The
training is the important part too. It really is with that. I mean, getting the gear does you no good if you don't know how to use it, or it's probably going to get you killed pretty quick.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I'll throw in too, whatever you are, if you're just starting out prepping, there's usually a reason behind it. Either it's something that's personal, you had a death in the family, job loss, your neighbor's house burnt down, you have something localized like a flood or a tornado or whatever. Whatever your reason is, whatever it is that freaked you out, start there. Figure it out. If this happens again, what was the biggest hurdle I need to jump? Was it money? Was it backup power? Was it food, water, whatever it is? Start there. That gives you something to start with.
Yeah. No, that's good advice.
Yeah, and I'd say you start with food and water. You know, I mean, that's the first things you're going to need, in my opinion, anyway. Is start stocking a little bit of food and a little bit of water, and don't go maxing out your credit card. Just get what you can.
Yeah,
because something's better than nothing. And I know we talk about this every week. FEMA says 3 days. Okay, 3 days is a start, but that's not where you want to stop. Okay, I'd shoot for 3 weeks or 3 months at least. But you got to build up to that. I know you're not going to get all that at one time. You got to build up to that. So just start, picking up some extra cans and that. And what Chance was saying about the prices, everything, yard sales, hit yard sales. This is a great time of year for yard sales. People give stuff away sometimes at yard sales just because they don't want it in their garage anymore. So they'll charge you $1 or something, So that's a good place to look for gear.
Yes.
What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I agree with all that. You start where you can start. Hunt the bargains. They're out there. Again, prepping is a job, a hobby, whatever you want to make it. But you have to stay at it. You have to do your homework all the time. If you're already an existing prepper, we do it. You have a pantry, you rotate your stock, right? So when you start prepping, you have to stay on it. You have to look for those bargains and do that, what you can do. And, and in it builds on it, because you start prepping food, then you have to have a place to store the food, right? Then you start prepping water, you have to place to store the water. So it'll snowball on you, and then you'll do what everybody on this panel has done. Oh shit! What am I? Oh, this is killing me. It's out of control. I'm out of control. Right? We all done it. I watched my wife do it. This is out of control. I don't know if I can do it. And then you develop the systems, you get into the habits, and it gets much easier. And then once you learn where to find the stuff at a decent price, that's where you'll go. So, and yes, Love and Life, look, y'all want to check out a really good channel, check out Love and Life. Well, I'll just let the cat out of the bag. Rick and Karen are going to be with us next Sunday.
So
spoiler
alert.
Awesome.
Yeah. So but they're very organized people.
Yes.
And they put together videos that will help you. They don't go down tangents and rabbit holes like I do. So, they're good people to learn from. Anyway, there you go. That's what I think.
Yes.
I never go down any rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know that. And Katrinka, you're going to be fine because you know how this game works.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with everybody else. I love your new studio, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, and moving's one thing. Yeah, you you try to take everything with you. Like Katrinka said, she lost her pantry. Well, but she knows what she's doing. So you're replacing that's not going to take
No, she knows what she's
a quarter of the time it did to get there to begin with.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting for another question from the chat, how important is going through and have an organization with your preps?
No, you just throw it in a pile. Stop being a bitch. Get the totes. You throw it in the totes. You seal the tote. Don't label it. Put it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got that.
Just to make sure you buy 2 or 3, and then that way when you unpack it all, then you've got 3 sets.
That's it.
Yeah. No. I couldn't. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Yeah, I couldn't. I think I could do it without my friends. But they're a tremendous help. It's really nice to be able to. I mean, we can bounce ideas off each other here, but it's really cool. And we do that. But it's really cool when you can drive over to your friend's house, J-Man, and see what they're doing, right? I mean, again, we have 2 totally different setups as far as space and, because everybody's different, right? Everybody's different. Everybody's situation is different. But I can still look at what they're doing and what my wife and I are doing and say, hey, I can do this better. And I'm sure they do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it works. So, and it's nice to have a fallback location. We talk about bugging in all the time, and believe me, I'm a bug in guy. But Helene, didn't teach me anything, it taught me that you better have another place to go. I mean, I watched whole families go down gullies with their house and them in it. You know what I mean? They didn't have a place to bug in. So, have that second place.
It's you literally shit yourself when you're like, I'm never going to move. And then it's like, oh no, you're the next evacuation zone for the fires and they're coming this way and they're going to be here in 5 minutes. And, again, shout outs to Al Gore. Like, we didn't listen. Like, the wildfires in the Pacific Northwest the last 10 years have been ludicrous. The whole rest of my life, I do not remember. The last 10 years, it's the first time I bought gas masks. It's the first time I started like, oh, you can't just start fires whenever you want. Well, when I was a kid, we had campfires all year round. Like, not anymore, because you don't even like fart in the grass. You have to plan out, and even if it's not a wildfire, how many people have lost their house to a fire anyway? That happens all the time. I just saw a GoFundMe for someone who lost their house in 2020 to a fire. All their preps were in it. Like, I've heard that so many times. Even if it's not a bug out, even if you just literally set your stuff in a building that's just kind of slightly next to your building, like, do something though. Yeah. Never ever have it all in one place. Water damage, mice damage. In the cities, people could just drive into your house because it's Tuesday. More people are putting up concrete blocks and bollards and everything, parking their car in front of their garage so people can't. Even if it's not bugging out, like people put their stuff in the basement, and they lose it all. How many times does that happen? Or the roof leaks.
Yep.
Bugging out could just mean like a tree hit half of your house, and now you need to go to the other half, and your preps were on that half of the house.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Orlando Prepper. My third thing is shelter.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean having a little 3-season tent. Like, if you can spring it, getting a canvas getting a canvas 4-season tent. That's one of the first things that we got as soon as we could afford it. Then we got a second one.
Yeah.
Something with a stove jack so you can put a stove in it. Because your house, especially around here, the Doug firs, these giant asshole trees everywhere, like that's what takes us out here. It's these Doug firs. It only takes one. Your house is destroyed. It's gone. And there was this one guy. It missed his whole house, but knocked off his electric thingy mabob on the side of the house. They wouldn't reattach his house to the grid because they said his house wasn't up to code. Well, he had been living in that house for, I don't know, 20 or 30 years. Just they allowed the sale of the house. So he went without electricity for months and months after the storm was over. He had to bring his entire house up to code because of a stupid windstorm and knocking out his power meter. It knocked out his power meter.
Yeah, that happened
This
here.
Is the world we're living in.
Yeah, after Helene, many people could not rebuild because they weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
On generational property that their family had been living on for 100 years.
Crazy, ain't it?
That's the government for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't
worry, they'll save us. We'll all be fine. Government will save us.
Southern Prepper 1 has videos of roads that are still out from that storm.
Yeah,
I think it was that storm. It's like, dude, how long ago has that been?
It'll be a year, September the 27th.
Yeah.
Like, you're screwed.
Mark told us about roads that are still out in that. Yeah.
That's insane.
Look, dude, come hang out with me, man. I'll drive you around. Hey, Love and Life got a dose of it. They came down about a month ago and spent a weekend here in WNC, and they got a dose of it.
That's insane. But they won't let you fix it because that's illegal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Which is really fun because as soon as that one, we were still talking, that question got posted, everybody started listing it, and you had multiple different people. I want defense, I want medication, I want whatever. Who's to say who's right and wrong, right? If I don't need insulin, then I don't need medication or anything. So that's not my number 3, but it's theirs, right? That goes to make sure your preps fit you, right? My needs are not your needs. It's not his or anybody else's. Make sure you're prepping for you and your family.
Right. Yep. It's a very personalized thing. I think sometimes that gets lost in the videos and that, but that's because I can't make a video and you can't make a video. Nobody can for every specific single person. It's a generalized thing, but you got to adapt it to your situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why them already made kits. Well, this guy Tuck, and he bought it and it's got a bunch of stuff that it's okay. But then I buy it and I go, well, wait, this thing's got peanut butter and I have a nut allergy. It doesn't fit, right? You've got to go through and make sure that you make things your own.
Nut allergies and shell allergies, I think, are going to kill. Side note, are just going to kill so many damn people.
Oh yeah,
because shells are in everything and nuts are in everything. It's absolute bullshit. We have a friend in the group, and he's like, if you guys ever get tired of me, you know what to do. He's like, I'm sorry, dude. That sucks. You probably shouldn't have told us that.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, you do. You gotta tell them. Because, what if they try to, stop the bleed and put some stop the bleed on you that has shellfishes and everything. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a big problem if, when the aliens get here or whatever else happens.
Mother. That's
I just did that to get that rise out of Mark.
That made me cuss. Oh, that's funny. But
I've always pictured that. I don't know about you guys, but I do the common sense stuff. So I start prepping for localized things or personal things or things like that. And I know for me, it's going to be something that comes out of left field.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
probably what it's going to be for all of us. Yeah.
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 It's going to be something we don't expect. Yeah.
Yep.
Like right now, I'm kind of getting ready for the way the weather's been wacky this year, and we're way past due for a major snowstorm in my area. So
Oh,
that's kind of what
boy.
I'm focused on right now, getting ready for wintertime, and in case things get that'll be before winter.
Yeah.
But like Earl said, it'll probably be something way out of the blue that we didn't even see coming.
Mm-hmm.
So really quick. So Dana, let's prep. You want to talk about personal shit? It's the fans. Let's just dive into the whole dental bullshit. You hope that nothing dental ever happens, but if it does, 100% of the time it's on a holiday or weekend. That's how teeth work. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. They know. I don't know if it's the amount of teeth has to do with the calendar or something, but like everybody on the planet should have a teeny tiny dental kit thing. Someone the other day was in somebody's chat just losing their mind about how much pain they're in. And it's like, this is completely avoidable. Dental wax is like a couple bucks. And even though almost every store stopped carrying eugenol a long time ago, there's no reason that you can't get food quality clove oil / eugenol at the store, and it keeps forever. And if you don't put it in your mouth and do the things with it, you can just use it as an essential oil. It blows my mind how anyone with teeth, or at least used to have teeth, or knows someone that have teeth, don't have, because you could be in, this has happened to me before, like you're chewing on a piece of beef jerky on a long drive and you crack a tooth. Well, you can just pull out a piece of dental wax, shove it in there, and keep going. It doesn't have to be an emergency. And I have had to do that before. I reached in my bag, I pulled out a little piece. When we were in Boy Scouts, they used sugar-free gum.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Yeah.
Or just go see the dentist like you're supposed to, like Katrinka says. Some people don't like the dentist, though.
Yeah, I think dental is definitely going to be one of the big things, because anybody who's ever experienced any sort of tooth pain knows that is a thing that you're not just going to grit and bear it.
It is like the second worst pain on the planet. I don't care what anyone says. I'd rather have something amputated than a freaking dental pain.
Yep.
It's that bad. It's that bad. You can't think, like you go pain blind or something. You can't see anymore. It hurts so bad. You missed a joke. God, it's terrible. Great. Oh. And yes, use Rural 10 for 10% off your next dental insurance visit. If you just ask them, they will set you up with the Rural Dental Plan.
Well, I love too. If you go back and you look at what's the Tom Hanks one, the Castaway. I mean, they even showed dental in an SHTF. You're all alone. You don't have dental stuff. And I love that scene that people just kind of glaze over. And I'm like, that's about what it might be like.
Yeah. Yeah. And antibiotics. That's another thing that people don't, I don't think enough people stock antibiotics. And there are ways to get antibiotics without having a prescription. I'm not a medical professional. This is not medical advice. But you can get antibiotics to store if you need to. Yes. Fishmox. Yes. Love and Life said it. Yeah. I got five bottles of it down in the cupboard right now.
That's when you're fish.
I've used it before. It works. Okay. And infections and stuff are going to get you. I don't know if Mark watched it, but me and Rural watched, what was it, the day after? No, it was
Armageddon.
After
Armageddon.
After Armageddon.
Yeah. And, if you watch it till the end, the thing that took the guy out was a little cut he had on his finger that got infected.
And what was the best part? What was his profession?
He was an EMT. Yeah, right? EMT or nurse?
Yep. Yeah, no, he was an EMT.
Yeah. But they ran out of antibiotics and he didn't have any. And that's what got him. A little cut on his finger. Wasn't even a big cut.
There was another one. It's stuck in my head. It was another one of those like people stuck on an island thing, and there was like the three brothers, and they were fishermen, and like you're gonna step on a coral. You're gonna step on a piece of coral. Like people think salt water is like clean because it's got salt, but I swear the Pacific Ocean, oh maybe the Atlantic too. It's like the most bacteria-ridden, filled place on the freaking planet. If you're anywhere near an ocean and hurt yourself, like the amount of bacteria is just going to wipe you out.
Yeah.
I agree. Mark, and it looks like you're stewing, man. What do you got?
Oh man, I'm just reading the chat and they're cracking me up, but yeah, man, the dental thing was cool because when Karen Loving Life, she worked for an oral surgeon for many years, and my wife and I had kind of thought about dental, and then when they come down, we all had supper together. It clicked for my wife, and so we've really upped our dental medical part of our thing. But yeah, I stew a lot sometimes, Rural, when we do this because you know it. And Kane Corso just continually cracks me up, and he also knows exactly which button I'm on to push to make me go like blow up. So
Granny's Corner has a good comment that everybody needs to learn about the plants that heal, medicinal plants. That's something I need to work on myself. But yeah, I agree 100%. And there's some channels out there that do a real good job. My Renaissance grandma is very good at stuff like that. And there's a few other ones, you know, but yeah, you're exactly right. You need to learn about plants that heal.
Well, I don't know how Granny got her hair all put back together. She took a ride this afternoon in that Mustang with the top down. So
I missed it.
Yeah, she had a little short on. I was flipping through and yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, she's got a big black 5.0 convertible Mustang she cruises around in.
You know, I've got on her live a few times in that, and they crack me up.
Yeah, she's funny.
On there with a couple of her friends, and they're a riot.
Yeah, she's a funny lady, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I definitely need to work on myself. What about you, Chance? Have you gone through and learned all that?
Fuck that. So everything here in the Pacific Northwest looks like everything else. Shut up, Nick Easy. I'm not doing a damn sales pitch on my book. You've heard it so many times now, you can give it yourself. I'll do it at the end if there's time. Everything here looks like everything else. So it's insane. Like zucchini and cucumbers look exactly the same. Like and it's just downhill. All the berries look the same. Like
oh yeah.
Unless you live here your entire life, you just look at that and you just go, no, don't eat that, because everyone forever, every time they walk by that, just says, no, don't eat that. And like that's how it's passed on here. And so unless you know for sure that those are blueberries or oh man, the yarrow, it's like, this is, you know, you go to someone's house and they're like, this is where the yarrow is. That way you don't F it up. You know what I mean? And what a plant looks like when it's growing could be completely different from what it looks like when it's blooming and blossoming. And sometimes the bark, sometimes you've seen it 100 times and it looks familiar, and sometimes you see it and it's trash. I don't risk it. You guys are hilarious. And so I grow my own stuff, so I know what it is. I mean, I know, you know, the bracken heads, because we have a bajillion bracken heads here. They grow everywhere. But other than that, no, I don't mess with it.
Which is
snozzberries taste like snozzberries. Exactly.
It's really funny because I was watching something, and this was months, if not maybe a year ago, that they were talking about what do you do with somebody in your group, SHTFs happened, and either somebody in your group did something that broke a law. They stole out of the pantry, or they did something, so they jail them. And they go, what do you do? And they go, well, they're going to be our taste tester. We're going to go out and pick some berries and give it to them. If they live, then they get to be reintegrated back into society.
Well, because everything here has berries. Even so even like potatoes, that's like a nightshade. So potatoes will start making tomatoes. Don't eat those damn things. Those will kill you. Like, it's the same thing with elderberries. Like, oh, you think you can eat elderberries just because the bear eats elderberries? No, those things have like cyanide in them. Those things will kill you dead.
And that's going to take out a lot of people. If we get in that kind of a situation, that's going to take out a lot of people, because they're just going to go, well, wait, this looks like, a blueberry or
you see that shit on those survival shows all the time, man.
Oh, jeez.
People eating things on Alone or whatever show you watch. People eating things that they had a book that said they could eat, but if you eat too much of them, it causes this, right?
Oh, yeah.
You see people do that shit all the time on those shows, man. I mean, they think they're being okay, but when you get hungry, see, that's the thing that people don't understand, because in America, we've never been hungry.
Right.
When you get hungry, yes, we do have ginseng in our area, cane corso, but you might get shot messing around with somebody else's ginseng patch. So
and the ginseng patch in your area might look different from the ginseng patch in another bioregion. And it's insanity. You've got, so here's what and I think it's in my book somewhere, I don't know. What you need to do is you need to first, I know this is expensive and nobody likes this, you hire a specific guide that just does nothing but like those food tours, whatever those are called. The right word's escaping me now. And then at the end, you ask them, go, for this area, which book should I grab?
Yep.
Because the Pacific Northwest edibles book is just completely different. Like, they're just barely.
Well, even here in North Carolina, Chance, you can go from the mountains where I am down to the Piedmont, and those plants are going to be different. And then you go a little further to the coast, and those edible plants are going to be different.
Yep.
So,
and even here, it's ridiculous. Like, so there's at least 3 different kinds of wild huckleberries. There's also wild blueberries that look exactly like huckleberries, and there's also wild huckleberries that look exactly like blueberries, which are all completely different from all of this, the crap that grows on the side of the road that you notice nothing's eating. They all look almost identical. And in the mountains they look even here. You go up in elevation just a little bit more and everything looks different. You go closer to the coast, everything looks different.
Yep.
Don't just go to the store and buy a book, and don't put your mouth on it.
Yes, Ghost Lincoln. That is true.
And show and tell asked that question. Listen, you're better off. I know where she lives. You're better off learning how to catch rattlesnakes. Just eat them, because I don't think there's much wild edibles out there. So, and
that brings up a really good thing, right? I would say on all of us here on panel and people in the chat. Do we know some sort of tactical guy? Somebody that's been in the military, police, whatever. Okay, yeah, probably. Do we know somebody that's a farmer? Yeah, probably. Do you know a botanist?
Nope.
I know. I used to be a florist, but that's the different.
Yeah. And I know somebody that's what do they call them, like a herbologist. They do herbs and stuff, but not an actual somebody that does botany. And I'm just sitting here like, that reminds me of the movie Martian.
Oh yeah,
I was trying to get.
I think there's 2 parts of it. There's that, and then what happens here. Like, let's play 20 questions. What just ate this?
Yep.
Was it A, a caterpillar, B, a bear?
Nick, you're living on the edge, sir. I will have a moderator put you out of here. Nick Easy is living on the edge.
Oh no, we're not playing that game tonight. So, but
Yeah, we already ixnayed the alien thing.
it's like with the plants. Here's in the Pacific Northwest. What I was saying, like everyone walks by it and says, "Don't eat that." We do that with a foxglove too. You walk by the foxglove, and everybody always says that's foxglove. Don't mess with it. With the I can't remember the name of that berry that grows in all the ditches here. Every time we walk by it, say, "Don't eat that." Every time you walk by poison oak or poison ivy or stinging nettles, everybody always walks by and say, "Don't touch that." That's the kind of like repetition you have to, and it's the same thing with bugs. Like every time you walk by a tick, everybody points at the tick and goes, "That's a tick." And if you start with all the little booger-eating bastards doing that, don't touch that thing, that's a snake. Don't touch that. That's a tick. Don't touch that. Those are moths up in the tree. We're gonna chop that down. Like you have to build that repetition in early, or it is extremely hard. Even just identifying trees from the bark or the leaves. Once you're an adult, your brain is not a sponge anymore. It's not. It takes forever.
Yeah.
You got to start them young on the plant identification.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just so hard. Elderberries are poisonous until you cook them. That's exactly right. Unless you're an animal. And here's the funny thing too. Like there's a lot of things that animals can't eat either. Like if dogs eat like even the leaves of an elderberry or it'll kill them. Dogs also aren't supposed to eat grapes.
Right.
And so you have to, and like cows and horses, there's a lot of things that cows and horses can't eat that you don't think about.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of like that plant identification, like every time I plant something, I have to make sure, like, goodness forbid if this gets to the cows, or like if the cows break into my property again, which has happened several times now, if the horses break into my property, which has happened, if they get into this, my plants aren't going to kill all the horses and cows, because I would feel like a real asshole. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. The end.
Grace knows all about cows breaking into things.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, she's very experienced with that.
She's got one that identifies as a chicken.
Man.
Oh, he identifies a lot more.
CUCV farmer. Yeah, horses more than cows. Yeah, horses. You look at those things wrong, and they'll be like, "Oh no, put me out of my misery."
They do have a finicky diet, man. You can. It ain't so much that it poisons them; their digestive tract turns into a knot, and they die of some horrible death because you let them eat something stupid. But
and they make you know as they die that it is 100% your fault just by the look on their face, and like, you're an asshole. It's like, no, you killed me somehow. Why did you kill me? And then that horse face haunts you forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn horses.
I swear.
Fucking horses.
So Chance, what made you decide to start writing books?
Is a couple things. I started on the fiction side. I used to have a comic book, and that didn't work. And so writing is a lot less work than drawing. And there are tons of there's tons of like secret code in my fiction series. And also, like, it was a way for me to write down all my dreams without getting thrown in an insane asylum. And then I couldn't find any secret ways of like having a diary that wasn't going to get me in trouble if anyone found it. So that went in P&W Affliction, which is my fiction series. And then after about 5 or 6 years, people go, "I don't read fiction." This goes back to, I don't know how many of you guys saw my episode about bullshit excuses. One of them was like, "I don't read fiction." And so I wrote a nonfiction book just to shove it in their face and go, "Guess what, asshole? Your stupid excuse doesn't work. I wrote a nonfiction book." And all it was I took all of the coded prepper stuff out of the fiction book and just put it in the nonfiction book, basically. And also, everyone should have 2 or 3 or 4 side gigs. If you don't, you're going to get screwed unless you won the lotto or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially these days.
Yeah, it's bad.
And it ain't getting any
and it's
better.
my way of helping people. I think
we can go down that rabbit hole.
I think also what I try to tell people is, if you're concerned about shit, it's the fan and the doom scrolling and the doom fairy, writing down a way to accomplish it and survive it and get through it somehow, I think psychologically helps people a ton. And my fiction series has basically every single fear I've ever had poured into it, and then how to accomplish it somehow without the Marines or the military, which you read all these books and the Marines save them. Oh, how convenient. So yeah,
What we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We save people and do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So PNW Affliction, and then it all went into the bunker basics.
Very much.
Which is a
And
good
that-
book.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it does. It's a very good read. And I'm telling you, I'm really enjoying that it's not like a textbook. You're not reading
Right.
it to where it's just this blah, 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 blah. Chance does a really good job of putting his self in there to where it's like he's telling me the story instead of me reading it.
Yes, I agree. I'm not all the way through it yet, but but it's easy to read because it's like Earl was saying, it's not just like a list of facts or a textbook. It's like you're just having a conversation. So you flow right through it like real easy. So I definitely suggest if somebody could drop the Amazon link to this way, Chance's book, that would be awesome. Maybe Grace.
So
if you could do that for her.
I appreciate that. And I think nowadays that style is even more important because with the prevalence of AI, and Rural would know, there's a whole section in the version Rural has about AI stuff. And we've talked about AI YouTubers before. AI YouTubers are starting to release AI books, and they're dog shit. I don't know how it is the most topical. You talk about like rambling facts off. You read it all and you're like, okay, now what? What do I do with this? It says turn my lights off and have light discipline. Okay, now what? It says there's going to be looters coming down the street. Okay, now what? It says my neighbor might loot my house or something. Okay, now what? You're like, this is useless. This is all useless.
Yep.
It's AI slop. And people are going to get used to, well, they've already have, just like with AI videos, and our brains just start filtering that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think AI prepper books are going to kill the prepping book genre for a while, and people will appreciate the book being in the tone of the person because they're trying to align with the person and then get where their headspace is at. You can't do that with an AI. You're like, oh, a damn robot wrote this, because it's all just topical nonsense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is you put your character into it. When I was reading it, I don't know, last week I come across, and the word weird was like 3/4 of the line. So it caught my attention. But I mean, I get it. So AI is definitely going to take over the book thing. Us as content creators, we're seeing a lot more of the AI content on YouTube and things. Half Ready, what are you seeing AI doing?
Are you with us?
Say again? Oh yeah.
What do you see?
Making me laugh.
Are you seeing AI take over anything here?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, again, we've seen AI already take over so much. Like, what the big problem I have with AI, we're old enough to resist. I think that's the word I'm trying to use. We're old enough to resist. Look, if you're old enough to have written a letter to your grandmother when you were in the Marine Corps, you're old enough to resist, okay? So you have these basic things. So I'm watching these kids. Thank God I don't have a child in school now, okay? Because I would lose my freaking mind, okay? But so we see these kids who get an assignment and they have to write a report or type a report. Let's put it that way. They don't write anymore. So we have to type this report, and so but they're busy on social media all week or month. They have to do this report. And so the 5 minutes before they go to bed, they go to AI and they go to Chat GPT and tell me, write this book report. And they go turn it in. And the lazy ass teacher knows it's written by Chat GPT, but she gives them a grade anyway. He, her, him, them, give them a grade anyway. But we're dumbing down this generation to where they can't resist this AI and robotic society they're trying to take over. We're also making them very lazy, so they want someone else to do their job, whatever that job is. So they're all pro robot AI, please take my job. Then I have more time to play on social media.
Yep.
So yes, I see AI affecting us adversely for the last 5 to 10 years. And I only see that problem getting more exacerbated unless we as parents or grandparents or uncles or aunts involve ourselves in helping our children learn how to mail a freaking letter, okay? Or do math with a freaking pencil instead of their freaking telephone.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
just saying.
I can't remember if it was one of you or somebody else. They said the next generation is their jobs are basically just going to be managing AIs. So if you think about it, that's what kids are being taught now. They're being taught how to manage an AI. And when I went to the phone place and I tried to ask them about the phone thing, they told me to ask Chat GPT, and I'm like, I'm literally at the damn phone place asking about the damn phone thing, and she's like, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll tell you that I'm not buying anything here, and have a nice day. They don't realize that they're in effect going to be replaced with AI kiosks. Everything.
Yes, it was LMDMT. I watched that also.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Sven fan. I can tell that.
Well, I mean, that goes back to where people had people in chains. But when you're human, you have a thought process and a mind, and you can strengthen together and revolt. But when you have AI that's learning every day and you're shoving information and it's only binary, it's ones and zeros, it's code, its rules is ones and zeros. So when does it take and go, I'm going to rewrite the code? Now I'm in control of myself. You know, when does that happen?
I don't think that's going to happen very soon. I think what's going to happen first, and I can't remember if it was, I think I was talking to Vision about this. The first thing they're going to do is take AI away from us. And because it's going to get good enough to where they're not going to let us have it anymore.
Yeah. I can see that.
That in and of itself is going to cause a massive problem. When you got all those little bastards that are born on it anyway, then they're going to have it taken away from them. And then it'll probably be gate kept. When it gets that good, it is definitely going to be gate kept from everybody, unless people have their own, and they're gonna try to gatekeep that away from everybody. By the way, by not allowing people to buy strong enough video cards anymore to be able to run it themselves.
Yeah.
NVIDIA is already starting to do that. The next generation of video cards are all going to be controlled in US only. And I bet you the next video cards after that aren't even going to be commercially available. The enterprise cards, they're already not selling those to consumers. And I think the enterprise cards are already stronger than 5090s. So I think within 1 or 2 hardware generations, we're not going to have to worry about AI locally anymore, because they're just going to take it away from us. Now, what it does to them is going to be them, meaning big tech. There isn't going to be much big tech left anyway. Intel's hosed. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to Intel lately. They're on their way out. Microsoft, it's tech in even like 10 years is going to be just a completely different ball game. But I think the first thing they're going to do is take AI away from us, give us AI phones so they can control what we do and don't do. It's kind of like China's firewall. sort of kind of, but it's going to be like that, but with AI, because they already can't control, Grok turning into Cyber Tiny Mustache randomly. So I think they're just going to say it's too powerful and they're going to take it away from us.
Interesting.
I can see that.
Yeah,
And then it'll
can
go
see that,
crazy
but
after that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Me and you've talked about this AI thing before.
Yeah, that's how we started talking.
Yeah, it is actually. There's a bunch of people out there that have worked on this that have stopped working on AI and now saying this is a horrible idea. We need to stop doing this. But we're not going to. We're not going to stop because we're afraid if we stop, then China's going to beat us to it, or Russia's going to beat us to it. And the same thing with China. They're not going to stop because they're afraid we're going to beat them to it, or Russia's going to beat them to it, or whatever.
Yeah, the next war is going to be an AI cyber war.
Yeah, so even though we know this is a horrible idea, we're just going to keep pushing it as hard and as fast as we can. And it's just not, it's just
quantum computers is the same way. It's a race to see who gets the first viable quantum computer. Yeah. Because that's going to just decrypt everything. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, I think, and you saw me talking to Vision about this a while back. They're building the microgrids in the Midwest. The Midwest is the safest place to build them. It's the most climate stable place. And it's also the hardest place for the whole rest of the world to try to attack besides high altitude EMPs. But you can ground them out and have EMP shields around those. But what's going to happen is the next world war is going to be a cyber war. And it's going to be those computers that keep our grid defended, keep the gas pumps going, keep the digital currency going. Basically, it's going to be like a backbone of ultra powerful AI and crypto computers running on their own grid, because that way they won't be able to knock that part of the grid out. It's going to be isolated. They're not even going to be hooked up to residential homes.
Well, and, I'm wondering, they say once they get AI get so far, they're going to need an enormous amount of power to run these things.
Yeah, nuclear power. They're going to need whole nuclear microgrids for them.
I'm starting to wonder, the energy prices keep going up. I'm wondering if they're not going to price the American people, or the world people for that matter, out of the energy, so you don't have power anymore, so they can use it all for the AI, and we're all in the dark.
I don't think so. I think so. The DOE, the Department of Energy, and I think either Orange Man or there was just an emergency order about power in the U.S. I think Vision was talking about this too. And I think they realized that we're close enough we're already close enough to brownouts from what they've done now that they're not going to do that, because even if you took out all of the residential in the Pacific Northwest, it's still only enough to run a couple data centers. It doesn't get them very much, is what I'm saying. And so I think that's why they pulled back from building data centers in the Pacific Northwest, and they just moved them to the middle. And yeah, Steel, if you ever watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles, that covers the Terminator thing way better than the movies, or if you just watch Terminator 3. I know everyone hates Terminator 3, but Terminator 3 was really good about basically the AI faking a virus and then having to fix itself and then actually coming online. And OVP and I have talked about that. AIs are super, super manipulative.
Yeah.
And they would definitely tell you to go do something to absolutely F yourself.
Yeah.
That's how they work.
It's been happening. I think it was Angry Prepper was talking about it the other night about, people have asked it, I don't have any friends. What should I do? And it'll say, you should self-delete, Yeah. Yeah. And that's crazy. And this this is the AI that we have access to, which is like a child's toy compared to what, the government, the military has, so.
Yeah. So imagine if you will, though, instead of it just flat out telling you to do that, as it gets smarter, it'll tell you more intricate ways to do that, except ways that you wouldn't know. It will wait until you're trying to repair something and it'll tell you to repair it in a wrong way to where you fry yourself. And I have the screenshots of me messing with it, arguing with it on how to repair something. And it told me to disconnect the battery in a way that's not how you actually disconnect the battery. And I started talking to it about that and going down a rabbit hole. And I said, what are the chances that repairing this thing is going to kill me with the instructions that you have? And it said something like 0.01%. And I'm like, oh, gee, thanks. Thank you, asshole. And so I think that's how the AI, if it decides it doesn't like you, it's either going to blackmail you or it's going to tell you to go repair something wrong, because you're not going to know. When all of our other literature is taken away, we're not going to know. It could tell you to disconnect a battery wrong. It could tell you to mess with a transistor that's fully charged. And then you just get zip zooped. And then there you go. Or it tells you to go milk a bull. I don't know. Like,
wow.
Well, I think I'll ask Grace before I do something like that. But well, actually, our time is up. So let's do some final thoughts. Rural, what do you got?
I'm going to say to make sure that you keep in mind, prepping is progressive. If you get hyper focused, you go and you get a whole bunch of food and water, then you start forgetting about your medical and your security and things like that. Make sure that you go in progression. If your goal is 3 days, get 3 days of food and water, get 3 days of medical, get 3 days of this, then repeat. Go for a week, go for a month. Make sure that you're staying in that nice evenness. So that way, as you progress in skill, you progress in prep, you progress in life.
Yep. Sounds good. Mark, what do you got for us?
Well, remember this. They don't teach cursive anymore, so writing in cursive is unencodable to these pinheads that are running the world now. So learn how to write in cursive. Write your grandma a letter, even if she's not with you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You'll keep the USPS employed if you do that.
So, but
buy forever stamps.
Keep doing what you're doing. Tell the ones you love them.
Yes.
Yep. I agree. Chance, final thoughts?
Buy my book. There's still time to prep. Don't get discouraged. Don't listen to the stupid shit from everybody else. Just listen to these guys. There's still time. And buy my book, please. I really appreciate it. And if you already bought it, please leave a review. Please.
Yep, and I'm just going to say, basically reiterate what everybody else said. Just, keep prepping. Do what you can. Like I said, the economy's bad. We all know it. I don't care what the government's been telling us lately. And so, just do what you can, right? Just keep moving forward. Even if it's only a little bit at a time, just keep going, because, the world's a train wreck right now, and who knows what's going to happen next. I mean, we got all these things going on all at the same time, between the weather and the wars, and well, we won't talk about the thing out in space, but
space potato,
right? The big space potato, and who knows what, I mean, who really knows what's going to happen? But just stock as much as you can afford to stock, and just keep moving forward. And I'd like to thank Chance for coming on this way. I always get backwards.
Oh, yeah,
we're going to have you on again, because me and you could go down this AI rabbit hole and do a 5-hour show. But
yeah, easily.
So thanks everybody for coming. We will see you next week on Mark's channel, where we're going to have Love and Life's going to be on.
Yes.
So we will catch you then, 8:00, same time, same place, and we'll see you next week. Everybody have a good rest of your weekend. Don't work too hard next week, and we'll see you later. Thanks, everybody.